Hi, welcome to Rivetea, or if you have been here before, welcome back. I am Longhair Linda, and I'm going to be recapping Season 1, Episode 9 of Love and Marriage DC. This episode is titled The Winter Swindler. I have actually recapped the previous 8 episodes of this season on my channel, so go have a look, go check them out, and subscribe while you're there. But let's get on to Episode 9. So, the party bus arrives at the Samuels' home to pick up the couples just as the Lions arrive. Monique says she was nervous in her confessional that someone would change their mind about going on the trip once they found out about their extra guests, but the group is ready to have fun. Monique catches Tasha up on the fact that winter is coming. But she won't be staying the night as it's still a couple situation. Neil Lyon says he doesn't drink, but maybe he might need to. He wants to have a little drink. Monique says that her hope is that this detox weekend, while she opens up a bottle of alcohol, a well-known detoxifying agent, will help them learn things about each other so that they can be on a better foot. They all cheers to the detox weekend, and Chris says he's invited Kevin because he thought it would be nice since they are out there trying to release negative energy. You want it to be a producer. So he didn't think that it would be a problem since he didn't know winter was coming. Monique says winter hasn't seen Kevin since July. Now there's snow on the ground, so I'm assuming this is around sort of February time at the latest, maybe early March. And that they are still in the middle of a divorce. Quick jumps in and says that's not what Kevin said. Kevin showed them his ring and the ebook written by Winter about how in love they are. Monique clarifies that the ebook wasn't actually written by either one of them. It was written about them and Kevin has the rights to it. Quick says it's nothing but lies from these people, and Chris says he thought Winter wrote the book about all the wonderful things that Kevin brought to her life. Which one is it? Irena wants to know if Monique is planning on telling Winter that Kevin will be on the trip, and Monique says, of course. She doesn't want Winter to feel like she's setting her up. In her confessional, Monique hopes this will be a good environment for them to meet after so long because there will be plenty of witnesses around. Chris feels like it's fair to invite Kevin around to be able to defend himself, and Quick asks who they are trying to believe right now. Like, Monique says that they should believe the paperwork. Now Monique is referring to the divorce papers and the screenshots of messages from Kevin to Winter that she has seen, but Quick points out that they both have paperwork and Kevin has a lot of it. Quick and Jamie believe Kevin, even though they don't know him, and Quick confirms that he's Team Kevin in their confessional. Ashley believes Kevin is a scammer, but doesn't care about all the rest of the stuff.
I believe he's a scammer. I don't doubt her on that. All this other I don't care about. Like,
shoot, I want to grab my popcorn right along with Jamie for this little meeting. The couples arrive at the house and Monique has a surprise for everybody. Everyone has bags with adult toys. These are little like kits that have been put together inspired by the events of the past few weeks. So Quick had fun size Snickers. There was a red light special torch for Jamie and a gag for herself since Chris told her to hush. The couple split into women and men's groups and are chatting amongst themselves when Winter and her sex therapist friend arrive. Winter has changed up her parting, using her hair to cover up that shaved side. Oof. Amen. The Lord answers prayers every day. Winter says she's not worried about these couples in her confessional. She's more worried about Kevin showing up on this trip, but all she can say is game on. As Monique brings them to the seating area, Quick is cheering for the sex therapist and only Tasha greets Winter. It was actually quite a tense moment. Winter says in her confessional that she is fine with Ashley at this point, but she still has problems with Irena. Quick loudly asks for more fun-sized Snickers bars now that Winter has arrived and clarifies that he's not offended in his confessional because apparently we all know Quick isn't fun-sized. He asks, have you Googled my bank account? Have you seen my third leg? Well, alright then, Quick. Jen, the sex therapist, gets started by getting to know the couples and finds out what is working on the intimacy side and what they need help with. Starting with Ashley and Quick, Ashley says after 15-16 years together, she wants to change things up because sometimes she wants a little different. Quick says their sex life has gotten better in recent years, and Jen asks, is Ashley in her early 40s? And Ashley says, B no. Jen says she asks because that's the age when women's libido increases, and Ashley says she should have dyed her grey hair this morning. I really do love this woman. I do. Also, isn't it 30s? I didn't know it was early 40s. I thought it was the 30s for women. Maybe we should go with a sex therapist. I don't know. I'll Google it at some point. Quick goes on to say that he's a little tired because he works a lot. So after several rounds, she's still ready to go and he's not. Ashley says it's because he's old and has gout. Jen suggests that maybe it's about getting him some more energy to keep up with her, and Quick is like, he goes 5 rounds. He doesn't need more energy. Most men can't even go for more than 1. Jen moves on to Tasha and Neil, and Tasha says their issue stems from Neil not getting a vasectomy and she is nervous about getting pregnant, so they have resorted to using protection within their marriage. Irena and Jamie are up next. They are both older, and Irena calls what they're having lazy sex. Irena's libido is low, and Jamie likens them to having almost a brother-sister relationship. Ew. Irena wants more build-up. She hasn't seen that kind of intimacy in 10 years, and Jen advises Irena to be more specific with what she wants leading up to it, and Jamie needs to focus more on that side of things. Jen moves on to Monique and Chris, who have been together for 16 years, married for 10. Their sex life is great, but the love language, intimacy, affection is missing. They are having what Monique describes as selfish sex, and in Monique's opinion, she wants them to be sort of more emotionally in tune with each other. I just want to put a trigger warning here. I don't know what this falls under, but I guess trigger warning, children being exposed to inappropriate material is probably the right one. Chris talks about how he was exposed to adult movies at a relative's home at a very young age, so that style of intimacy is what he learned. So real intimacy is something that he's kind of working on at the moment, but their Valentine's night was amazing.
I will say this, Valentine's night, I'm starting to get it. Yeah. It was more connected.
Valentine's night was like,
amazing. Wow.
Winter interjects to tell everyone that she just got back from Mexico. Ashley asks if she had sex with a strange man, but Winter says no. And I'm pretty sure one of the men booed. Winter found the trip to be a healing one, and she apologizes for offending Jamie and Quick with her sarcasm, and says listening to the couples is encouraging for her because they're being so vulnerable. She then rambles on a little more about how she's a woman of faith and blah, blah, blah. It's not in her to be mean about people's husbands, but regardless of how it was said, she apologizes, blah, 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 whatever. Ashley isn't buying the apology and says in her confessional that it was just as lackluster as Winter is. Jen goes on to talk about the toys. Now, I'm not trying to get my video taken down, so I encourage you to go watch the episode on OWN. In fact, watch all of the episodes from season 1 that I'm recapping right now, because season 2 is back January 21st. That is Saturday, this Saturday coming up. So please go check it out. And I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this bit up of the trip here because I'm not trying to get this video removed. Later that night, Irena pulls Winter to the side to apologise too and says that she feels bad for bringing up her ex-husband. She was genuinely wanting to check that Winter was okay because of how much she has going on. Winter clarifies it's not so much the mental, it's the emotional aspect of having to deal with all of the lies and the divorce from this most recent divorce. Ex-husband. Ex-husband number 2 is what she's talking about. Irena asked if Kevin has actually tried to reach out to Winter, and Winter's like, he's blocked, so she wouldn't know anyway. Irena says that Kevin has a bunch of receipts that he keeps showing people, and Winter says, bring it on. He is not signing the divorce papers. Winter asks how it can make sense that Kevin wants to stay in a marriage if she's the one that's so crazy. And you know what? That is a good question. On this, I agree with Winter. I do not trust that man one bit from what I've seen on this show. I just don't believe him. I don't believe anything that he's saying, because if she is all these things, then sign the papers. Be rid of her, right? You can just break your ties with her immediately, unless it's something that you want. Irena says that it's sad that Winter has to deal with this, just as Chris is calling them over to dinner. At dinner, Monique has made sure to include a lot of seafood for the guests since they complained about her vegan dinner, and the ladies get to talking about cooking at home. Not actually mentioning the other show to Monique. Monique wants to know what Irena and Winter were talking about before, and Irena says that she appreciates Winter's apology, even though she didn't really single them out. Ashley says that was a generic apology, and Irena agrees, but she got it. Ashley carries on by saying the apology was so vague and it was like I'm sorry, but I'm going through a hard time. But Irena says that she accepted it and that she apologised for her words at their meeting later. Ashley, in her confessional, clarifies that she's not about to be apologising again, and Winter loves to play the victim. Back at the table, Ashley says she wants nothing to do with someone who doesn't like her and her husband. She says she heard more things about her after her meeting, the one that they had with Monique. And Winter clarifies that the nickname stuff may have been brought up by Monique after that, but Winter hasn't been talking about Ashley since their sit down. And to be fair to Winter, we haven't seen any more clips of her talking about Ashley and Irena since that kind of sit down with Ashley. So, yeah. Monique interjects and asks Winter to elaborate on what she's going through to see if they all want to move forward. Winter says that she's been carrying a lot of pent up frustration from her situation with Kevin, and Ashley asks, well, so you decided to take out that frustration from your embezzling husband out on us? And another argument ensues between Ashley and Winter about the same thing again. Now there's Winter again, acting like she knows something about Quick. I was just feeling for you, Winter. Even Tasha tells her that she can't leave a statement like, how do you not know, open like that. Chris says they don't have to be around each other, and Irena agrees, saying they don't have to see Winter as she's Monique's friend. Ashley brings some much needed comedic relief, as this is yet another tense dinner about the same old stuff. Winter talks about the apologies that she gave before and wants to know where this ends, just as Kevin arrives. Chris gives Kevin the heads up at the door that Winter is here. It's a bit late for a heads up, Chris, mate. He's already there. Kevin walks into the dining room and he has a big smile on his face looking at Winter. Winter says in her confessional that after almost 9 months, Kevin is walking in like nothing has happened and Winter is ready to light this dinner up. Let's go, Winter. Let's go. Kevin sits down and Jamie asks whether there's any popcorn in the house. Chris says they're not about to make a mockery of his guests by asking for popcorn, but Quick says they love him, but he must be crazy if they think they're not going to need popcorn for this. Agreed. Irena asks Kevin how he's feeling after seeing Winter after so long, and he says he misses her. Winter says she does not miss him, but she won't take his feelings away. Kevin says he hasn't seen her since last July. Winter says intentionally he left, and in her confessional she says he left to go to his parents' basement because he didn't want to have to answer for what he did. She didn't actually kick him out. Irena asks Kevin about all the paperwork that he's brought with him, and Ashley asks if he wrote a love letter because she would love to read it. Ashley's delivery is so funny. I'm not even sure that she understands just how hilarious she is. Quick asks Kevin that, are you guys still married? Both answer yes. Quick asks, did you scam Winter? And Kevin denies it. Ashley asks whether he was living in his parents' basement, and before he can answer, Chris tells them to let the man talk after hitting him with 5 different questions. Chris says in his confessional that he's supportive of Kevin getting his side of the story out without him being ganged up on. Kevin starts by saying that he wants to address the first question that he was asked, are they still married? And Winter says, you are not holding up a copy of that free ebook that neither one of us wrote. Kevin says, well, it says Winter Williams right there on the cover. Winter explains that that was for a masterclass and that people in the UK transcribe what she says and puts it in book form as a free gift. Wait. Okay, so if you transcribe the words that end up in a book, like if the words that you are saying are transcribed and put in book form, you effectively wrote the book, right? Did you not write the book then? Because if they are words and they've been put in book form, then technically you wrote the book. And if they aren't your words, which you just said they were, then by putting by Winter Williams on the cover, that's misleading, isn't it? I'm watching you. Kevin clarifies that the words were taken from 2 live interviews that he was present for, and why would he be sitting in on a masterclass? It wasn't his masterclass. Winter asks whether this was before or after Kevin was alleged to be embezzling money from his company. Now, you didn't answer the question, sis. You didn't answer this, because I'm watching this like Irena, Jamie, Ashley, and Quick. They're like ping pong, back and forth, back and forth. Kevin is up one because you have not answered that question about you writing the book. Yes, they were transcribed by somebody else, but if they're your words and it says by Winter Williams on the front, then technically you wrote the book. But anyway, that's one for Kevin. Quick adds, and lived with your mother, about the whole embezzling thing, right? So Kevin tries to answer, but Winter says she wants a straight answer. Was this before or after? Winter says she's asking a very direct question. Everyone can hear her. Kevin then says, 2 things I want to share. All right. They're 1-1 on the scoreboard. They're 1-1 on the scoreboard. Winter says the ebook was written in October of 2020, and Kevin says that's not true. Monique peeks over at the book and says, oh yeah, copyright 2020. 2-1 to Winter. You're up 2 now, Winter. Okay, we're winning. All right. Ashley whispers to Quick that she doesn't even like her, but Winter's right. Winter yells that the book was written before she found out that Kevin was accused of embezzling money in June of 2021. Kevin wants to get one thing straight for the record, but Winter doesn't want him to dominate the conversation with lies. And Ashley tries to ask a question, but Kevin is intent on carrying on with his story. Ashley and Quick have just like reached their capacity of Kevin and Winter, and they just head upstairs saying Winter may be stupid, but he is a liar. Quick even says he likes her now, and Ashley says, poor thing, she loved this Winter Swindler. Ashley's actually the go at coming up with these little sayings. Like, I love it. I love it. Back at the table, Winter says, you know, they were in a post-marital counselling thing, and Kevin says it was because she didn't want to live with him because of his age. Even the way the man is looking up in the air, like, I know I look around a lot when I talk, but the way he like, oh no, there's a way that he does this thing where he looks up like this as he's saying, the rest of the time he'll be talking to you like this, but then when he's having to answer a question about his own thing, like something that's not clearly pre-rehearsed, he like looks up here, comes down. I'm just like, I don't know. Anyway, I think Winter is like 3-1, 4-1 at this point. I've lost track of the scoreboard at this point. Winter says she would have never walked down the aisle if it was because of his age. As the Tylers and the Lions head upstairs to join the Silvers. They've had enough too. Irena says this is torture when they get upstairs, and Ashley calls the Tylers the forgivers. I'm assuming it's because of the whole conversation with Irena and Winter earlier, but yeah. Kevin is still going. He's still talking. He's talking about Winter taking him off the lease. Winter says they had already agreed to separate and counselling, and Chris is like, shall we leave? I know he was ready to join the other couples in this moment. I'm sure he wished that him and Monique weren't the host so that he could just get up and walk away, but Winter's like, no, they need witnesses because Kevin lies. Upstairs, the couples are talking about how Kevin still seems so in love with Winter and that he came here to save his marriage. Ashley suggests that, well, he should have worn a different outfit then, because that jean jacket was not about to win her back. Ashley, don't kill me. Ashley, shady Ashley, best part of this show for me, honestly. Back at the table, Winter says that she would love to reconcile with the architect that she met and fell in love with that went to the University of Maryland. Kevin says that, you know, she said reconciliation, so he's walking over to her, trying to sit next to her. Winter moves away. At this point, Ashley is back in the room, being nosy. She wants to see what's going on. And Kevin says, when did he ever say he was a licensed architect? If that is not scammer talk right there. Allegedly. Allegedly. Because why are you clarifying a statement with license? That implies that you go around telling people that you are an architect and you feel like it's okay because technically you're not lying because you're not saying that you're a licensed architect. Winter says she doesn't trust him. He lies and he's not right up there. In her confessional, she questions whether Kevin forgot that he was an architect, that he said that he was an architect, and that someone should get his assistant living nurse. Shady Winter, baby, you married that old man, but you've got old jokes now. You married him though, didn't you? You married him. Winter breaks out in song at the table, singing, "You need to sign my papers and get my divorce." Okay? That song was a hit. And Ashley says in her confessional that she could see that song getting to number 1,000 on the charts. At this point, Winter is done. She is singing about this man lying and how he needs to sign the papers. All the while, Monique and Ashley are now dancing. They're now the background singers. Winter ends the melody with "Somebody give him a pen in this place," and walks off. Winter and Ashley are now upstairs talking, and Ashley is saying that she actually could have liked Winter. Winter apologizes again for the fun-sized comment, and Ashley tells us in her confessional that had they met under different circumstances, they could have been friendly. Not friends, but friendly. Ashley tells Winter that she left the ladies' brunch after Monique's vegan dinner thinking that they were building something, and Winter says she did too, but admitted to feeling triggered and not displaying her usual lifting up women personality that she keeps telling everybody about. While Winter and Ashley try to patch things up between them, Kevin is still downstairs with Chris and Monique wants Kevin to understand that she can see the position that Winter is in and wants to know that Kevin, like, what are you going to do moving forward? What's going to happen now? Back upstairs, Winter is, she wants to start over. She wants to start over again because she realised after her talk with Monique and her trip to Mexico that she's not been her usual self because of the situation with Kevin, and she appreciated Ashley for being her backup choir tonight. Ashley says as soon as he opened his mouth, she could tell Kevin was full of it. Sis, me too. She doesn't understand how Winter didn't see it from day one because she has met that man an hour and there is nothing that she would trust about him. Winter says at the time, Winter came to her from a business front and she would have never fallen for him if he came at her the way that he did tonight. Then she says that he came at her from like a Christian man of God front, which was what she was heavily into at the time when they met. So it was like the perfect storm, and that's how he got her family as well. Monique walks in saying that she couldn't take no more and Kevin was too slippery. So Chris is walking Kevin out and he's still talking about getting his side of the story out. I don't care about that. Upstairs, Irena joins Winter, Monique and Ashley with a mic and the ladies are singing Winter's divorce song. And that is the end of episode 9. So for me, 9.5 out of 10 again, despite them talking about Winter versus the ladies again in this episode. But, it felt like there was some resolutions at the end. It was a bit more fun. There was a lot of crazy stuff going on, but it was a bit more fun and things seemed to be getting resolved, which was great. Quick and Ashley just were giving me life with their ad-libs the whole time. Winter and Kevin both seem like they like to lie to me. Allegedly, but that's what it looks like. With that said, I don't think Winter's lying is to the extent of Kevin's. Yeah. But I think they both like to lie. And again, everything that is said on this channel comes with an automatic allegedly. These are just my opinions. I don't know these people, but I think whatever they're saying that man did, he did that ish. I don't believe a single thing that comes out of this man's mouth. I just don't. But again, all of this is alleged. It is my opinion and I would love to hear yours. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode, what you're thinking of the series so far, what your thoughts are on what happened, what your rating is. I just want to know everything. So please let me know in the comments. If you like this episode, like it, share it. That would really help me out. And I will catch you tomorrow for a recap of episode 10, which is the final episode of the show, except for the reunions. And I'll see you there.